Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. Today I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for the early prelim fights for UFC Vegas 39. But before I get into these fights, I want to really quickly, go over last week, UFC Vegas 38. I did fairly well. I started out killing it. Then I faltered toward the end. But right away I did a 4-fight parlay. Look at that, guys. Green machine. That's right. That parlay paid out, and some of these I hit the prop bet on point. Okay, first we had Alejandro Perez. Got it done over Johnny Eduardo. I didn't hit the prop, but I did pick the side correctly. Then my underdog, Jamie Malarkey, propped it. KO round 2, and that's exactly what happened. Douglas Andrade beat Gaetano Perello. I didn't prop that correctly, but I did pick the side right. Carol Rosa, I didn't even, because the line was so wide, I didn't even bet that at all, but I did get it right, so bang, 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 bang. That paid out very well. And I continued with my wins. I had Alexander Hernandez, another real wide line, so I didn't prop it, I didn't bet it at all, but he took care of Mike Breeden, no problem. Now, Shanna Young versus Stephanie Edgar. This one, I flipped my pick. Originally, I was taking Shanna Young. Thankfully, after watching the weigh-ins, I saw that Stephanie Edgar was sizable. Like she had a nice size advantage, and I flipped my pick and took Edgar by decision. And she came out. She won KO ground and pound, but still, I got the right side. And then I encountered my first loss. I took Antonina Shevchenko to beat Casey King O'Neill. Despite that, Casey, I am now a fan of Casey King O'Neill. I now follow her on Instagram. Well, not today because there was a whistleblower from Facebook, so Instagram shut down. Cool, right? But anyway, Casey O'Neill took care of Antonina, TKO in the second round. Despite, I thought maybe Valentina yelling in the corner, cage side, but I don't know. Whatever. Casey O'Neill won. That was my first loss. I flipped my pick on Cowboy. Originally I took Alex Oliveira, but then after watching the weigh-ins, I flipped my pick to Nico Price. And I took Nico Price, but these are all in the live stream too, my flipped picks. Nico Price won by decision, and that was exactly how it played out for me. Then I started going bad. Joe Selecki, I picked him to beat Jared Gordon. That didn't come. I mean, it was a close fight. Jared Gordon got the decision victory. Then Misha Serkinov. Oh, disappointed. I had him winning within distance by submission, but Krzysztof Jotko managed to make it a boring, lazy, slow-paced fight. He controlled it, and he got the decision victory in the end. Thankfully, Kevin Holland versus Kyle Dawkins. Thankfully, that turned to a no contest because of that crazy headbutt, but I had taken Kevin Holland by decision, and I hope when they run it back, I hope that Kevin Holland, because of that, he really got, he got choked out, but I hope he comes in as a plus money underdog now, because Kyle Dawkins was the underdog, but now they show, after that little no contest, maybe when the odds come back out, Kyle Dawkins will be the favorite. I hope. And finally, I got the main event wrong. I had picked Johnny Walker, and I had him within distance. I was doubting Thiago Santos's reconstructed knees, but he came out victorious, winning a decision over Johnny Walker. So, overall, 7-4. Can't complain. I did because of this. because of all this green here, I did come out plus money, and I will add that I know you guys are fight fans, but football, I did very well the next day too in football. My New York Jets won in overtime, and I took them on money line. Thankfully, they came through. So overall, a very good weekend in gambling. Now let's hope I can get all these fights picked correctly too. I'm feeling pretty confident looking at this card. There are some spots where I'm unsure, but let's see what's going on with UFC Vegas 39, the early prelims. Starting out with this lackluster curtain jerker, Charlie Ontiveros, the American bad boy, is taking on Steve Mean Machine Garcia. Now, Charlie Ontiveros is 11-7. He is a plus 251 underdog. These lines are according to Bet Online. I just took them off, hot off the presses. Charlie Ontiveros, this is interesting because he's 11-7. He's coming off a loss to Kevin Holland. Yeah, and that was a middleweight fight. This here's a lightweight fight. So it's a 155, middleweight's 185. I guess he usually fights around 170, welterweight. So, but if you're on the side of Ontiveros, be sure to watch the scales come Friday. Yeah, he against Kevin Holland, he got TKO'd in the first round by getting slammed, and he verbally gave up. And I guess that's not his first time. There was another fight that I guess he verbally gave up, but the ref's like, nah, you're not done yet. And this is from what I heard. I did not watch the fight, but I heard he had another fight where he's like, I'm done, I'm done, verbally. But the ref's like, nah, you're not yet. So, and he got beat. But anyway, so I guess this guy is known for giving up a couple, like quitting. However, because I don't know if it's because he's dropping down a weight or what, but he will be the bigger guy here because he'll have a 2-inch height and 3-inch reach advantage over Steve Garcia. Charlie Ontiveros is coming out of the War Training Center in Tomball, Texas. The only recognizable name out of that facility is Trevin the Problem Giles, whatever. So yeah, let's talk about his opponent, the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia also coming off a loss to Luis Pena, but that was a unanimous decision loss. He did make it the full fight. He fights out of Jackson Wink. Jackson Wink does have a couple notable names. You know, they're pretty famous school, like Bubba McDaniel. Cub Swanson, he's out of there. He's gearing up for a fight in December against Darren Elkins. And if John Jones can stay out of jail. If John Jones can stay out of trouble, he's also listed as one of the fighters out of that facility. So Jackson Wink, a pretty notable camp. Good place to train for Steve Garcia. The 3-1 favorite. Minus 301. So yeah, you got to put down 300 to win 100. Or you got to put down $30 to win 10. No value here whatsoever. Let's see what these cappers have to say in this curtain jerker, which I'm going to stay clear of, but I will break it down and tell you what the cappers have to say. Taking the favorite in Steve Garcia, we've got, it's your boy, Nora, it's your boy, eBays, that's right. It's your boy, eBays. He comes out quick, early with his full card predictions. I love it. eBays is taking Garcia by decision. Then we've got both the stat diggers, Wheezy and DFS. Both of them are on the side of Garcia because Ontiveros is a quitter. We got AJ DeVito from MMA Experts, and he is saying TKO round 2. Second. The over-under odds were not out at the time of making this video. We got the professional interviewer, James Lynch. James Lynch did not get to interview these guys. He tried to interview Garcia on a couple occasions, but was unsuccessful in reaching him. Then we've got Ray from MMA Pick'ems Podcast. Pick'ems, Ray is saying TKO in the first, making this a full capper consensus. A full capper consensus is when
the handicappers pick one side
of the board.
whiteboard.
They're in consensus. When all the handicappers are in agreement in consensus, that's a full capper consensus. And in this case, everybody thinks Steve Garcia should wipe the board, wipe the floor up with Charlie Ontiveros. It should be a clear victory. I don't like the odds, so I'm not going to bet it, except for this parlay here, because that's how I do. I'm a man of my words. I parlay every video I make. But yeah, I'm not even going to hedge bet Charlie Ontiveros. I'm just going to pick Steve Garcia as my pick on Tapology, and like I said, I'll put him in this parlay with who I choose for these other fights. But I'm going to say Garcia should get it done within distance, and I'll even specify the round. I'm going to say round 2, just like my boy AJ DeVito. So we're going to say TKO in the second for Steve Garcia. Winston, stop chewing your hot spot. Get out of here. Moving on. Next, we've got Lupita Godinez taking on Sam Hughes. Okay, Lupita Godinez is coming in with a record of 5 and only 1 loss. It's her most recent fight to Jessica Penne, where she lost split decision, and I think that was a robbery. I had picked Lupita Godinez to win that, and to this day, I still think she should have won that, but whatever. She is a minus 220 favorite. That means money's been coming in on her, because yesterday she was minus 175 against Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes, an American wrestling goddess, I guess. She wrestled boys in high school, just like there's other female fighters that wrestled in high school against boys. It's a weight class thing though in high school. Sam Hughes 5-3. She's coming off a loss to Luma Lukabonami by unanimous decision for Sam Page. Sam Hughes also has a 3-inch height and 3.5-inch reach advantage. She's the plus 185 underdog. She was plus 150, but like I said, money's been coming in on Loopy, so they're trying to make her a more attractable piece to bet on. Lupita fights out of British Columbia, Canada. BC Dave, maybe you know, maybe you've heard of Titan MMA. That's where she fights out of. This is actually Godinez versus Hughes 3. They did fight twice before in amateur rankings. Their first fight ended in a draw, and then the most recent amateur fight, Loopy beat Sam Hughes in 2018 by decision, and like I said, that was before they both turned pro. Sam Hughes trains out of Catalyst MMA, that's in Everett, Washington. Lupita, like I said, British Columbia, Canada. Washington's close to that. That's why they're from the same regional scene. That makes sense of why they faced each other a few times in their past. So this is Lupita versus Hughes 3. Let's see what the cappers have to say about this. But the line is kind of warranted because Godinez, she had that one draw, but otherwise she has a victory already against Sam Hughes. So keep that in mind. And in my opinion, Godinez should be undefeated because, like I said, that Jessica Penne fight, she should have been the victor there. But let's see what we got from the capper's point of view. Taking the favorite Lupita Godinez, we've got Ray from MMA Pick'ems Podcast. He didn't say how, probably decision. James Lynch is saying, what the heck? Hold on. Sorry, I don't want copyright infringement. They got some commercials. Turn back to copyright-free music. Okay. James Lynch is saying a third round finish for Luffy. Doesn't know if it's going to be submission or TKO, but he's got to win it in the third or decision. We're straight third round. We got AJ DeVito from MMA Experts, and he is saying decision for Godinez. Gotta get rid of that marker. Then we've got both Wheezy and DFS by the numbers from the Stat Diggers. Both of those guys taking Godinez. And finally, it's your boy eBay's also taking Godinez by decision, making this the second full capper consensus. Second one on the card. You want to do the dance? You can do the dance. Let's do the dance for Luffy, for Lupita Godinez. This dance was taken from Pearl of Wisdom. He is a hockey and tennis handicapper. Throw some lucky pearls, Nora. Throw some lucky pearls. Thank you. Good job. So I'm gonna also go in line with Lupita. She hasn't lost to Hughes yet, and this is their third fight. And in my mind, she hasn't even lost yet because that was a robbery to Jessica Penne. So I'm gonna say Godinez should get it, and I think it's gonna go to decision though. I don't think she's gonna finish her. She hasn't in the past. And like I said, Sam Hughes is tough. She's durable. She used to wrestle against boys in high school, so we'll go with that and take Lupita Godinez. Okay, moving on. Next, we've got Charles Rosa, Boston Strong. Charles Rosa, he is 14-5. He's the underdog to Damon the Leech Jackson. Damon Leech Jackson, 18-4-1. He's the minus 180, almost 2-1 favorite against Charles Rosa. Charles Rosa, however, is fighting out of American Top Team, ATT. That's right, American Top Team. Debatably, probably the best training facility in the world. That's debatable. There's, other people think AKA eBay's. eBay's thinks AKA. Some people think Sanford MMA. Some people, there's all sorts of there's arguments on what the top facility is, but American Top Team, you can't knock any fighters that come out of that facility. But Boston Strong is coming off a win against Guitar Hero Justin James, but it was split decision. Keep that in mind. Split decision against Justin James, who was and that was the fight that happened in June. I want to say June or July. I want to say June, and that was the one where Justin James put his whole purse on himself on a bet. So I was like, if he's gonna lay down his whole purse on himself, that's a confident guy. I'm gonna do the same. And what happened? Charles Rosa took my money too. I mean, he came out and won that split decision, man, and it broke my heart because Justin James. I know he's not the best fighter, but I was a fan. I like Justin James. He's humble. He fights for your money. He tries. He just didn't have the talent, the skill. But he's taking on the favorite Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson, very close in age, these guys. Rosa's 35. Damon Jackson, 33. Minus 180 favorite, though. Really? I don't know if that's warranted. The Leech is coming off a loss to Ilia Topuria, no shame in that. Ilia Topuria is one of the prime fighters in the UFC for the featherweight class. He lost by TKO round 1, though. So recency bias, Boston Strong, Rosa coming off a win against formidable Justin James. Damon Jackson, the Leech, I think he's a pattern fighter, like win-loss, win-loss, I do believe. And here he is coming off a loss. Maybe that's why the odds are in his favor. He's in line for a win, I guess, if you want to go with the pattern. He does have a 2-inch height and 4-inch reach advantage. Also fighting out of another known facility, good camp in Fortis MMA down in Texas. So, and if you look at the Tapology listing of Fortis MMA, Damon the Leech Jackson right on top. And they go by wins, I think, win records, or so. I don't know how they rank them, but he's right on top of that list of Fortis MMA. Let's see what these cappers have to say. I'm going to go back and forth, starting with Damon the Leech Jackson. And we've got taken Damon Jackson. We've got James Lynch, the interviewer, taking the Leech. James Lynch, I think he has interviewed both these guys. I'm not 100% on that though. Then we've got, jumping over here, we've got AJ DeVito, MMA experts, and he's saying, MMA experts. AJ DeVito is saying by split decision. That's interesting. We're going to write decision. Decision for MMA experts. Then we've got, it's your boy, eBay's taking Rosa by decision. Seeing a trend there. Then we got taking Jackson. We've got Ray from Pickham's Podcast. And he's taking Jackson by decision. For the tiebreaker, we've got the Stat Diggers. That's Wheezy and Brady from DFS by the numbers. Man, they happen to be split. Yeah, they're split on this. We've got Wheezy, Stat Diggers. Wheezy is taking the dog and Rosa. Neither one of them are putting a bet on this. They're going to pass on the bet. And obviously, if they're split, that means DFS is taking the other side and taking Damon Jackson for Brady. So it's a tie, no matter how you look at it. I'm gonna be the tiebreaker, and I am gonna take Boston Strong Charles Rosa, because he is plus money. I'm gonna get that deep dog or pass myself, and I like Charles Rosa. Like I said, I went against him. I took Justin James to win last time, and you know, I messed up. And Charles Rosa, I was impressed. He fought pretty well. He got the split decision, but man, I guess his last 2 wins are off split decision victories. So, yeesh. But it's better than a loss, getting knocked out in round 1 by Ilia Topuria, right? So a win is a win is a win, and he's going to get a win here against Damon the Leech Jackson. I'm going to take him to get it done. American Top Team, boys. I think Rosa should get it done by decision. So to recap, time check. What is the time on this video? Oh, I'm ahead of the time. This ain't no pellet. I got lead in my rhyme. I am ahead of time. So anyway, to recap, I've got Steve Garcia knocking out Charlie Ontiveros. He'll probably give another verbal I quit. Oh, just stop it, ref. Please stop it. Stop the beating. Steve Garcia's got some sharp boxing. He's got some good stand-up. And I think that's where it's going to take place. And I think he's going to knock this Charlie Ontiveros out in the second round. He's going to make him quit, make him give up. Won't be the first time. Then I've got Lupita Godinez. Why go off what's happened already? You know, she already beat Sam Hughes in amateurs in 2018. Before that, they did have a draw. But Lupita, I wish, maybe I'll try to see if I can find that fight. Probably not, though, because it was in amateur rankings, and it was, is that regional Washington or British Columbia scene. I don't even know what scene that was, that regional scene. But, and plus, she's a rightful favorite here. I doubt I'm going to put it in the parlay here, but I'm not going to prop bet it. But I do have her winning by decision. Sam Hughes, she's tough. She's durable, and maybe over at Catalyst MMA, maybe she learned a bit something. There's 28 and 29. I didn't write their ages, but yeah, Godinez, Lupi should get the victory. Like I said, I'm high on Lupita because she shouldn't have even lost that split decision to Jessica Penny, but that was Jessica Penny's first fight back after like a 2 or 3 year suspension, USADA suspension, and just like the refs were like, oh, or the judges were like, oh, she's been off for a while, let's give the victory to her, and it's bullshit. But anyway, finally I've got Charles Boston Strong, even though he's fighting out of Florida, not Boston, but I got Charles Rosa, Boston Strong, taking it to Damon the Leech Jackson. Isn't there another Leech, like Li Jiang, like a Chinese guy named, his nickname's Leech? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But there is, I just can't think of his name off the top of my head. But anyway, I got Charles Rosa beating Damon Jackson by decision. I think he's going to get it done. He's got, they're both well-rounded, and Charles Rosa with the recency bias. I mean, like I said, lesson learned. He taught me not to go against Justin James, and I did, and now I'm going to back him here and have him plus money winning over Damon Jackson by decision. So, gather the info, place those bets, and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to give me that thumbs up. Fill the comments with who you think is going to win these fights here. Don't worry about, people are like, oh, I think Mackenzie Dern's going to, we're not there yet. These fights, I will make a video on every fight for the card, so just hold your horses. I mean, go ahead, you can put who you think's going to win the future fights, but I'm saying you might as well wait till I do those videos, right? So, specifically, if you have thoughts on these, go ahead. Let's see who's first tonight. Is it going to be P-Diz? Is it going to be Real MMA News? Or is it going to be somebody else? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to the comments on this one. I'm looking forward to these fights. Even this lackluster one here, it's a spot, I guess. It's a curtain jerker. It'll be entertaining. I like all fights, man versus man. So, there you have it. Good luck on these bets, and I'll see you tomorrow with another episode. Later.